Hello everyone, this is Armando again, back with another video. I must apologize for starting a new series halfway through the job, but unfortunately I didn't start doing these videos until I'd had a couple of builds already on the way, so that's okay. I can tell you what I've done so far and explain it, and then I'll go into what I plan on doing next. This is the Bates Mansion for my Halloween build at SFMA, the Psycho Bates Mansion. And as you can see, I've gotten a lot of landscaping done. Most of it I did last night. Now, the way I approached this was, as with a lot of people, I wanted to do the hilltop with a long staircase, and I wanted to do some landscaping, but let me go over what I did first to create the display itself. Now what I did was I took some thin poplar wood, this you can get at Home Depot, and I cut it to size, attached it with some right angle brackets, and created my frame that way. Then I went to Michael's and I got 4 rectangles of green floral foam. You can actually see some of it still peeking through the sides here. I'll take care of that as I get the landscaping better done, but just to show you what it looks like on the underneath, there's the 4 rectangles. Took those, stuck them in the frame, which I created specifically to the size of the foams, and I put 2 more pieces of wood which I attached to the sides using rectangular little tack brackets. These things are used for holding plexiglass or glass in place, and they make a good support little bracket, I guess, for these things, since they're not very heavy. The floral frame is not very heavy at all. I also put a nail for each of the foam squares so it would hold it in place, and I simply put the rectangles, not squares, rectangles, on the nails. There's a wire peeking through. I'll show you how I did that in a minute. After I got my rectangles in place, they were all the same height, obviously, and there's pictures in SFMA of my build at the beginning. I took the base and I carved out its silhouette on an area that I'd chosen, and I placed it there, and then I began to basically carve out the hill using an old bread knife that I had stored away. Worked pretty well, and I carved out a deeper trench here for the ladder, and then attached everything in position. And then I took brown grout, which I also got at Home Depot. I think it's $5 or $6 for this bucket. And this idea I got from Jealous over at SFMA. He used it on his Bates Mansion. This stuff, when you open it, it has a consistency of wet sand, as some of you may know from working with tiles and stuff, and it makes a pretty good sort of modeling clay. It hardens rather quickly. The label says it hardens in 24 hours, but I found out within a couple of hours it was hard as a rock. And you could paint it, you could glue stuff to it, and that's exactly what I did. You can see some of it peeking, and it almost looks like dirt. So after it dried, I spread it all over, filling in defects around the ladder and around the edges of the base to make it all more continuous. Then with my airbrush I painted it the same color as the base, or at least tried to. It didn't all come out evenly, but that's okay. I don't want an even appearance to it anyway. And then I started gluing pieces of moss, which I got at Michael's. Chopped them up and put them on there, because the way I visualize this mansion. And here's some more moss. There's a box. Some in the shape of little bushes, and some that actually came in these pads. It almost looks like grass. You can just pluck it out and stick it. I used spray adhesive, 3M Super 77, and I would spray and put and spray and put and glue, and just tediously going over it over and over. These are rocks from my garden. I painted them in a airbrush smoke gray Tamiya. Here it is, X19. And then to blend in the greener pieces of grass, I'm not done here, some of this needs to still be painted. Blend them in with the yellower stuff. I airbrushed them with Tamiya XF 59, the desert yellow color, which is pretty nice. The idea being that this is a disheveled home which has not been taken care of in a long time. I wanted the landscaping to look like they haven't mowed the lawn in a while, and if you look at the box, that's the impression you get. You can see that there's bramble and bushes and things just overgrowing everything, and that's what I'm trying to achieve, a disheveled look. I don't know how successful I'm being, but I'm gonna try and do that. I glued some rocks here. Some of the dirt is peeking through, the grass is dying. I took some of the aluminum oxide from my air eraser, which is basically a gray sand. It's used for sandblasting, and I put some glue on here, and I spread some of it as a little dirt path towards the ladder, and then I airbrushed it with the desert yellow Tamiya paint as well to create a path. I saw that in a build somewhere, and I thought it was a really good idea, so I figured I'd incorporate it into my build. And that's basically where I'm at right now. I glued the base. Well, the base I didn't glue it. It's attached with the grout, which hardened as hard as rock, so it's not going anywhere. The foundation I glued. I poked a hole through the floral foam and brought out a wire, which I'll be using to light the inside of this thing. And I glued the ladder and the cellar door and the other two ladders, which I painted sort of a woody color, combination of the desert yellow and the reddish brown that I used for the foundation. For the weathering of the walls, can't see it very well in the shade, there. I used the air eraser to basically just damage, I guess, peel off some of the paint, get down to the primer, and it gives it a nice weathered look. Some of that is brown, which I airbrushed. I may do some more of that. My son thought it looked pretty cool, and I think so too. I may do that. Here's some more here on this side. And I'm up to this stage now where I've got the basic mansion glued in place. I put the support for the LED, and now I'm deciding which LED I'm going to use in here. I do have the photo etch parts, the Bates Motel sign, which I'll assemble and then place in the front here someplace. It says in the instructions you can thread wire through this and light it, but this is not hollow, so I'm not sure how you could do that. I guess I'll have to figure it out or do some research to see how it's done. See, the stick is not hollow, so I'm not really sure what they mean when they say you can do that, but I'll figure something out. And I've got the rest of the photo etch parts, so now my next step is to detail this thing and build the rest of the front, which I already have partially built. Glue it in place, choose the LED, put it in here, glue Mother Bates to the side here, glue the windows inside, and finish up the inside, and then I'll put the roof on. Not much, right? Anyway, that's Bates Mansion in progress. I still have to figure out what to do about this frame. Harvey Kogar did a really wonderful job with his. He cut pieces of plastic like a jigsaw and created a pattern that looks like brick. But I don't know that I'm gonna do something that difficult. I'll figure something out. But I do like his idea of using the label for the windows to label the whole thing. He says it lights up pretty nice, and it sure does. This is the labels for the window, and you can actually put light through that, and I might do something similar to what he did and put it on the side there. I don't know. I'll get creative. Anyway, that's it for now. I'll post another video and show you more progress soon. Thanks for watching.